Sorry about that, guys. My personal friend Lenny Kravitz came by and did a little cameo rhythm guitar kind of thing, and apparently the guy is just a wuss because he can't rock out anymore. He literally just passed out in the studio. So we had to take him to the hospital. So that took a few minutes, but now I'm back. Leave it in the hands of a professional. I can handle it now. I'll talk to Lenny later. All right, so Lenny wanted to come by and talk a little bit about power chords. We've talked about that in some of the other lessons, and Lenny was having fun with that. But I'm gonna have some fun today with our power chord. What is it about power chords that feels so good when you play them? There's just something about that kind of sound that just is perfect for a lot of music. It's not the kind of chords that we were dealing with in the last 3 or 4 lessons, because they're not very sophisticated chords, but they just have a certain kind of right? There's nothing better than an AC/DC song to really get you going there. So power chords have their purpose in a lot of pop, real pop music, and of course rock and roll. So there's a lot of different ways that you can essentially add power chords to your arsenal of chords. We already know about the power chord of a root 5 right here, right? And you can even take a root 5 and add the 5 on top again, of course, and then you get 1 5 1. So, and you can just have a 1 5 or a 1 5 or 1 5 1. And even if you want, as we've discovered in some of our previous lessons, you can add a power chord and a 5th above that. And those are kind of powerful too, but they're a little bit more extended. So you can have progressions that maybe would sound like this. And you can hip them up with a little bit more range to the power chord. That's kind of fun stuff to play around with too. Okay? Another good thing about power chords is you can take them in the upper registers too. So this is an E power chord. Just like this is an E power chord. Okay, so there's another way you can play a brighter, higher register power chord, and that's when you take the next octave of a power chord like this, and then you can pull off notes into the power chord. So that's nice when you have another guitar player in a band where they're playing the low stuff. Because then this part can really set above that other stuff. It'll cut out, but it's still just 1 5 1. We haven't done anything to add to the upper extensions of the chords. We're still just playing power chords. Okay? And power chords can also just be inside of a voicing, like this kind of a thing right here. That literally, if I played it with the full power chord, would sound like this. Right? G, B flat, C. But sometimes it sounds kind of cool to just not play the full bass note chords, to just play 5 1, 5 1, 5 1 of the chords. And then you have just a shape that's literally just 2 notes inside of the blues scale here. So you can play it like this. Maybe change a different pedal. Now the reason that you might want to do that is you'll notice that when I had the capability of playing the two notes individually like this, I was able to put a little vibrato. When I'm doing this, it's a little harder to vibrato a parallel fifth, but when you got essentially two notes together that create a fourth, but are still the root and the fifth of the chord, you do it like this. So if another guitar player in the band is playing, you can play this. Right? It's just subtle varieties of the ways that you can incorporate power chord playing into your music. Okay? Let's show you a few other ways here. Another good way to incorporate interest into your power chords is just adding notes around the power chord that you're holding. In this case, the open string power chords like A are really good for these because you're only using your first finger to play it, and that allows the second, third, and fourth fingers to be used with more efficiency. So you could just do little pull-offs. That kind of stuff is all just pulling off the pentatonic scale. Right. Now what I did there is kind of nice because I implied a chord. I implied what's essentially a dominant sound. So I might throw that in there while I'm still holding the open A, so I could go. Or maybe and slide into another part of a chord of an A chord, but just to add a little bit of an upper bluesy sound to it. So that's the kind of fun thing you could do with the A sound right there, because you've got the minor third pulling off to the root, you've got the flat seven. All that stuff is available with your left hand there. And of course, the same thing applies to the E. Right? So you got the same relationship, the minor third, the root right there, the flat seven. You can go back up to the tonic, up to the top, so you can go. That's all that's available in there. And you can even do an open string power chord in the top two strings, because that's B and E. That's the same as right there. So you can play lower power chords. I notice that I have to mute it as soon as I play it, because I don't want it to sound like. It's not so bad, but I like to control it a little bit with a palm mute there. So that's just an open E and open A chords, right? Just low power chord kind of additional kind of information there. Okay. So what we're